Fine, so here we are, the 22nd of August, and we're looking at the markets. What are the markets doing? That's the main question. So how we're going to approach this is we are going to go step by step into how the economy is working. We're going to start off with a top-down approach. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the major indices, more specifically the S&P 500, then euros, the euro area, and any other indices we are interested to look at. After that, we're going to look at the volatility and the volatility of the volatility for these major indices. Try to understand if there's something going on, especially volatility-wise. We really want to understand if there are movements, or there have been movements, should I say, in the markets in the last period. So let's have a look at this thing here. So we've got first things first, the S&P 500 with its own specific stock sections. So we see real estate is doing very well actually since the 7th of July, and if we look at the year to date, we can see that it's sort of just been going okay even since the last pandemic crisis. But generally speaking, that's good. So it's on top of the line together with financials, and then we have energy. The energy sector has gone incredibly well in the last period, together with the financial sector. So both financial sector and energy sector have been gone very well, because obviously people staying at home, and on both cases, during the pandemic, during the lockdown, people were using more energy. Obviously, electric bills have gone up. The power and commodities have gone up, and people started using more energy and consuming more. But then also, as lockdown started to be less formal, people started to use petrol again. So oil has gone up, as we know, and so that's essentially what's happening. So financials, real estate, and energy are on top of the line, followed just right away from communications. The ones that have done poorly are consumer staples, consumer discretionary, and utilities. So people are not really buying stuff at the moment. So probably that is because of summer times. So people are just really spending more. They're using energy to travel, not really doing much with that respect. Although we can see a slight increase here. But nevertheless, let's have a look at what's happening really in the indices. So if I plot in the S&P 500 right here, and this is a pretty good looking chart for the S&P. It's gone up plus 18% since the start of the year. So it's doing very well this time. Let's have a look at the volatility index, and that's right away just a VIX, which is what that is. So the volatility has gone down essentially, and as we can see, right, and it makes lots of sense. The trend is just to go down, but just lately just touched around this level, which is so the VIX itself, in terms of changes, it's gone down, right? So this is not the volatility itself, this is the change in volatility, and we can see it's sort of going down. It makes sense, right? Because as the economy is starting to become to get back to normal, then the volatility is going to decrease. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. It's just carrying on going down, so that means probably less opportunities with respect to the market going up or down really fast. Let's have a look at the other type of really important thing, which is, actually just look at it here, is the volatility on the euros. So volatility on the euro stocks 50. So if we look at the volatility of that, you can see that right away here if we wanted to, which is called a V stocks, and we can quickly get it here. There we go. You can see the graph for it, and what is this telling us? Well, it's telling us that it's touched some quite huge highs in April, but it's gone down ever since. So it's sort of ranging around this level. It's still high, 22%, but not too high. as we would be imagining. So okay, that's very good. Let's have a look at the chart itself. So at the Euro stocks. Let's see, Euro ETF maybe, or equities, or even indices, probably best. Euro stocks, there we go. An historical price graph, there we go. And this is what we've got at the moment. So it's sort of gone up since January 2020. It's still carrying on doing the same things, which is going up, just as we would have expected. Let's just move on to and by the way, so just looking at the year-to-date case here, I'm probably just looking at some small retracement, but just going back up, technically speaking. But we're not really interested in the technicals, as we know. We're just looking at the graph and see what we have in mind with that. So if you look at the graph going up, that means something has happened in the market, and we're making possible ideas on the causes of such a trend. And if the trend is going on the other way around, obviously we're going to have some ideas why. But most importantly, we need to look at the volatility index. So actually, one thing I want to check up is the put-call ratio on the S&P 500. Generally, that's a very good index, and it tells us what is the general direction of consumers, generally speaking. So let's see, maybe I can see it without, maybe not. Okay, there we go, some bar chart, that's good enough. And the put call ratio is actually, let's have a look. Just waiting for this to finish loading. It's quite slow. Would be nice to see the chart with it. Yeah, but let's do it with what we've got. Yeah, this is not really good. Let's see. Volume 30-day put call ratio. Okay, so this is the volume for it, which that's okay, but maybe we can try the forward price or the open interest here. Let's see what's happening with the open interest. Yeah, so that's the general open interest on puts and calls. So it doesn't really go below the zero. As we can see, it's always above, and it's sort of going down at this moment. So obviously the more it is, the more up it is, the higher chances there is that the market volatility is high, and we are experiencing some market movements, some interesting market movements. Nevertheless, let's go onwards onto here, and we go back to today's market, and I want to see how commodities are working. So commodities, we can see gold here. It's really just steady. It's actually gone down 7% since the end of the year. Sorry, 6.27%. It's probably gonna still carrying on doing that. Natural gas has gained a lot since it was below expectations for a while. Brent crude oil and oil are still carrying on. It's plus 22% so far. But let's have a look at what happened to the natural gas. You can see it went quite below. Here it didn't really follow the same problems, say, we had with oil, but it sort of went up considerably in the last period, more than oil did. Okay, so let's have a look at some other important cases, and that would be, for example, we could look at the Bitcoin price and actually cryptocurrency. So look at the crypto market cap, which is the website. I generally use for looking at this charts. I can see the Bitcoin here, and it does tell me an understanding. It does give me an understanding of what Bitcoin is doing at the moment. So it's sort of spiking back up. You can see that. So it could be a very good moment to actually start buying again at this moment. I see that really clearly now, because if we look at the overall chart, right, since 2018, you can generally see that it is probably gonna go even more up than it is now. And it's not a bubble. I don't think so. I think it's gonna carry on going back to the levels we had before, and surely that's gonna be part of what we got. So let's move on to Ethereum, and let's have a look. So here we've got well, sort of a similar trend to Bitcoin, not as much, but it's still sort of crumbling back up. Cardano, we can look at this one here. It sort of went up considerably in the last few months since the start of the year, most importantly. So crypto is something that we generally need to keep track of. So just moving on, we looked at commodities, look at crude oil. Let's look at Forex now. So we're gonna go into Forex. Just bear with me while I do it. And here we go. So that's my Forex MetaTrader platform. Now we're gonna look at these guys here. So we've got essentially the following cases. So in USD, if I start looking at the daily chart, it's gone down quite a lot since the last month. It's gone and had this interesting comeback, essentially. So we went up and then all the way back down. It's probably, what I'm thinking is it's probably going to be retracing back up soon enough. It's as it did before. So we are at the end of this cycle, probably starting to look at this and go back up. I don't see how this is gonna go further down, especially with trending Brexit news and stuff like that. The UR is going to grow and be more inflationary than the US. Is that the case? I don't think so. I think the US is going to be starting to be more inflationary with respect to UR, which means that the asset USD is going to go up. So I think this is a very good moment to probably start trading USD, and for that reason I'm going to add it to my trade ideas. So I'm going to write down here USD buy. Let's move on to GBP USD. So let's have a look technically what's happening. Lots of volatility in the market, lots of spikes, and it's not a clear trend, generally just ranging in the daily chart. In the H4 chart, we can probably think of either waiting for a retracement around here. We touched a lower low here, then a lower high, and then probably touching back again another lower low. We're probably thinking of touching around here, so that's why I'm going to step in with an alert, and if necessary I'm going to start trading around that time. I'm looking for this to either break out, which I'm going to put an alert for, or a retracement back here, and that's when I'm going to start to be buying the asset. Let's have a look at this asset here. We got USD CHF. The general trend, I would say, is probably just ranging around this area, but it's gone down and it's sort of had a few cycles here. We don't have even to have to look at the price. Just look at the at the flow of this asset. So at this point, we're probably looking at trading around this area, 0.9237, which is going to be looking to probably looking to retrace this trend here. It doesn't need to be perfect, but that's sort of what's going on around this level. So I'm probably gonna put in here an alert. Tells me that we touched this level. I'm probably looking to short the asset, and it probably is in fact a very good moment to do so, but I'm going to also put an alert around here. So whether it's gonna come here to 0.9209 or here to 0.9142, it means that it's breaking out of the range, and it's probably gonna go either up and probably touching around here. So at that moment I'm probably gonna take a long trade and take a profit around here, and then otherwise it's gonna break down and probably test this level and most likely gone back down here. Let's carry on. USD JPY, the daily chart, and we have a look at this. So there's lots of ranging around here, lots of small cycles. If we're looking at the small cycles, probably looking around this level, that might be a good moment to have an alert on, and then shorting the asset. The general trend is to go up though, so probably good if we set an alert around this level, and if it does come towards this level on H4, we're probably looking to buy the asset and go up. Let's go up to CNH, so Chinese yuan, and on the D1 chart we look at this huge V-shape trend. At this point we're probably looking to trace around this level, and probably the market trend is going to go up again. And you can see that even in H4. So it's either probably going to retrace around this level, and at that point I'm probably going to start buying. So it might be a good moment. I'm going to place a alert around this level, so that on the H1 chart we're probably tracing this level here, and then I'll be looking to trade up and buy the asset. AUD/USD, it's actually here on H1. It looks very good, but let's have a look at D1. Still very good trend. It's going down. It's still coming on, climbing down the ladder, but it's probably not a good idea to get in now. Probably looking to retrace back to a certain extent, or even trade to the upper side, which I don't think it's going to be doing. So it's very uncertain. Probably not a good time to do anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an alert, which is probably unlikely to be around this area. But if it is, then probably have another conversation. NZD/USD, here trend is definitely going down on H1. Let's have a look at D1. It's still pretty similar to AUD/USD. It's really unclear. It's touching a very low point weekly wise. We can see it's sort of not easy to judge, but it's climbing down. So at this point we're probably again looking to the H1 chart, probably looking around this level here. Well, we're probably looking at doing a short trade around this level to then trade back down and just get that momentum going. Let's go onwards. USD CAD, and we've got the one here which looks a V-shape trend, some higher highs here just with respect to this levels 2021. If we look at this, it's sort of probably looking to go back, although if we look at the weekly chart, we are at historical lows. So because of that, we're probably looking to go back up again. We're probably not going down too much. USD CAD, it means that USD is more inflationary than Canadian dollar, and I think generally speaking this is probably going to start going back up at some point. So this is not a good moment to do so. It already did. but it's sort of like looks like there is a retracement back, so we're looking to get in at some point in the future once the price touches around, say, this level here. That's it. So looking at that. USD SEK, so Swedish krona, and if we look at the daily chart, it's the same V trend for most of these forex assets. We're probably going to see here what the trend is doing. It's probably going to retrace back and carrying on the upper trend. It's actually a very good moment to start trading the asset up. So if we want to get those hourly candles on the way up, could be a good moment to do so. And so probably I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that real soon. So actually I'm going to write it down, USD SEK. Anyways, on Monday I will be obviously connecting in the afternoon. Get ready to trade, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be trading these assets, looking at the technical signals we've got, and then we'll be deciding on which way to go to. XRP USD. Let's have a look at this one here. It's what I'm thinking is probably, yes, this is not part of my current broker, so we're gonna look at adding in some new crosses. Not necessary, but we can definitely do that. Let's quickly do that right away. So just adding this new pairs right here. There's plenty of them. It's really important to have all of them running, because opportunities arise everywhere, guys. Opportunities are everywhere on each possible thing, no matter what that is. Stocks, indices, whatever that is. This is what we've got now. This stuff here, I think it's trading at too much of a higher price for me. I won't be able to trade it. I don't think it's anywhere near my chances with my very small account, so I can't even do that. But we can try with this one, oil and CFDs. Definitely we could try and go for CFDs, but not necessarily at this point in time. I'll just add in this CFDs on indices. So that's pretty much that. So that's pretty much that. I don't see any other important parts here. I think we've got most of what we needed. In terms of maybe we can look at dollar. So let's get dollar actually. Which is this one here. Just looking at this. So here on D1, again, lots of volatility here. Look at that. It's incredibly high. It went down, but at this point, dollar, it's really uncertain what gold might be doing. I think it's going to go ultimately going back up, but it's going to touch a low level. So probably looking for this. I'm not going to short gold for sure. So I'm going to wait for it to retrace around this level, 1730, and then I'll be looking to trade this guy up. Yeah, that's pretty much that. This is my current idea on forex assets. So if you like what you see, just leave me a like button, comment out the video. Make sure you let me know what you think. This is my first ever video that I'm uploading onto YouTube for actual financial analysis. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I will probably see you next time.